Lauren Ashley Burke, a bright 18-year-old college freshman, walked across the dimly lit university parking lot at dusk. She wore a casual sweatshirt and her signature bright smile, entirely unaware of the darkness waiting just out of sight. Suddenly, her relaxed posture stiffened. She glanced over her shoulder, a subtle anxiety replacing her smile as the shadows of the silent, isolated parking lot seemed to stretch closer. Out of the periphery, 23-year-old Courtney Lockheart lunged from the darkness. Lauren's eyes widened in sudden, absolute terror as the menacing figure aggressively closed the distance between them. Forcing her into the passenger seat of her own Honda Civic, Lockheart overpowered her frantic struggles. The dark, claustrophobic interior of the car trapped her in a nightmare as panic consumed her. Lauren's trembling hands grasped helplessly at the seatbelt as Lockheart reached across, his authoritative grip buckling her in. The cold streetlights filtered through the glass, highlighting her absolute vulnerability. The Honda Civic sped away from the deserted parking lot, disappearing into the blackness of the winding roads. The tiny speck of light was swallowed by the vast, desolate landscape, completely isolating Lauren from the world. Inside the claustrophobic car, Lockheart pointed a weapon directly at her. Lauren slumped in the passenger seat, her face etched with desperation, her eyes frantically searching the dark interior for any possible escape. Suddenly, Lauren's phone rang loudly, shattering the terrifying silence. With shaking hands and tear-filled eyes, she struggled to answer it, hyper-aware of Lockhart's menacing presence just inches away. With Lockhart's weapon pointed just out of frame, Lauren made a fabricated call to a friend, her voice trembling as she desperately feigned normalcy while the dark world blurred past her window. Driven by a desperate surge of adrenaline, Lauren violently lunged for the passenger door handle. Lockhart's face twisted into a mask of rage as he raised his weapon against her sudden, determined rebellion. Lauren threw herself from the accelerating vehicle, her body falling heavily onto the unforgiving asphalt of Highway 147. Dust and debris kicked up around her as she struck the dark, desolate road. Lying on the rough asphalt, Lauren's face contorted in agonizing pain. Her breathing was ragged, and her wide, glassy eyes reflected the distant, fading taillights of her own car. Lockhart sped away into the night, a dark silhouette behind the wheel of the stolen Honda Civic. He left Lauren severely injured and completely abandoned on the edge of the empty highway. Miles away, bathed in the bright, artificial light of a Chevron gas station, Lockhart's hand remained perfectly steady as he calmly used Lauren's credit card, his face entirely devoid of emotion. In a chaotic display of destruction, Lauren's Honda Civic was found engulfed in massive flames in a university parking lot, the intense fire casting a violent orange glow into the night sky. Without a single backward glance, Lockhart jogged confidently away from the burning wreckage, his dark silhouette disappearing seamlessly into the shadows of the deserted university campus. Back on the desolate highway, a severely injured Lauren fought for her life. Barely able to stand, she slumped forward, weakly waving her hand as the headlights of approaching cars finally cut through the darkness. Good Samaritans and paramedics rushed to her side, their faces etched with urgent concern. The harsh, flashing lights of the emergency vehicles illuminated the desperate, frantic effort to save her life. An ambulance sped down the dark, winding road toward East Alabama Medical Center. Its sirens wailed into the night, the flashing lights signaling a desperate, agonizing race against time. Inside the cold, sterile hospital waiting room, James Burke received the devastating news. Tears streamed down his broken face as the unspeakable reality of his daughter's passing finally set in. Lauren's boyfriend and close friend stood together in shared, silent despair, their heads bowed and shoulders slumped, the heavy weight of the tragic news completely crushing their spirits. Inside the charred, burned-out remains of Lauren's vehicle, investigators made a crucial discovery. A single, spent bullet casing glinted faintly under the harsh forensic lights beneath the driver's seat. The investigation rapidly exposed Courtney Lockhart's violent crime spree. Urgent news headlines flashed across the screen, detailing a nursing home robbery, a terrifying carjacking, and a brutal parking lot mugging. Flashing red and blue lights dominated the busy highway as multiple police cruisers engaged in a chaotic, high-stakes, high-speed pursuit of Lockhart's silver Chrysler Sebring. Panicking during the reckless chase, Lockhart threw a weapon out of his car window. The gun tumbled through the air, glinting in the sunlight before landing on the side of the road as a critical piece of evidence. Abandoning his broken-down vehicle, Lockhart fled frantically on foot into a dense, dark forest. He desperately looked over his shoulder as the pursuing police officers rapidly closed the distance. In a dramatic takedown on the forest floor, police officers aggressively tackled and handcuffed Lockhart. Subdued and defeated, his short-lived escape finally came to a sudden, violent end. Inside a sterile police evidence room, Lauren's iPod, her cell phone, and a bloodstained T-shirt were laid out methodically on a table, cold reminders of the tragedy that had unfolded. Under the harsh, dramatic light of a stark interrogation room, Lockhart's initial defiance slowly crumbled. The immense psychological pressure finally broke him, leading to a chilling confession. As Lockhart detailed his crimes with a face full of regret, the ghostly, ethereal image of Lauren stood in stark contrast, a beautiful, silent reminder of the innocence he had violently stolen. Inside the solemn courtroom, Lauren's parents, Vivian and James, sat with stiff postures and strained expressions, carrying the immense emotional weight of the trial as they sought justice for their daughter. With a stern and unwavering voice, Judge Walker looked down from the bench and delivered the final, authoritative verdict, officially pronouncing Courtney Lockheart guilty of capital murder. Defeated and resigned, Lockhart bowed his head as he was led away in handcuffs. The heavy courtroom doors closed behind him, sealing his fate as he received the death penalty. In the wake of the tragedy, Auburn University underwent a massive transformation. New security cameras, increased lighting, and dedicated patrol cars swept the campus, ensuring student safety was finally prioritized. Bathed in warm, golden sunlight, a beautifully maintained memorial plaque honoring Lauren Burke was placed on campus, detailing a graphic design scholarship created to ensure her bright legacy would live on. A series of radiant, joyful images of Lauren smiled back at the world, interspersed with bright rays of light breaking through the darkness, proving that her beautiful spirit could never be extinguished. Elegant text appeared on screen, reading, "The light still shines," followed by "Justice served." The words glowed brightly against the dark background, a powerful symbol of hope triumphing over evil. As a peaceful sunset cast long, golden shadows across the Auburn University campus, students walked freely and safely, a beautiful, reassuring return to normalcy built upon Lauren's enduring legacy.